The Unashamed may have used the more official-sounding name of the Saskatoon Literary and Reading Club to obtain liquor licenses. This was a University of Saskatchewan faculty men's group that met once a month to discuss new books and read plays, or to not discuss new books and not read new plays, as the case may be. The group was established in 1924 and was most active until about 1940. The last recorded meeting was in February 1964. Backed by popular demand for the fourth year in a row, this reading is another selection from the minutes of The Unashamed and is brought to you by Deborah Buck.
This is one book club with some pretty rarefied tastes. They're reading and reviewing Maugham, Thomas Mann, Bernard Shaw, or more accurately, not reviewing Bernard Shaw. And I have to say, I would dearly love to have met the secretary of this club because he sounds like a fantastic wit. A meeting of the Unashamed was held at the home of R. McQueen on February 20th, 1933, 8 p.m. The first item of business was the consideration of measures for dealing with the nemesis of the society. For some inexplicable reason which is hard to reconcile with the imagination and resource of the executive and members generally, the society is always being pursued by its future programs. In spite of the choice discussions which are constantly being tossed to him, the wolf remains unsatiable. And on the evening of February 20th, the Unashamed were again in extremis, having no program for the next meeting. The counsels of panic and despair were not absent from the discussion. Taylor, in a brilliant speech, argued that the brute should be starved by the abolition of programs. Matheson countered effectively by saying that would result in the society being devoured like the capitalistic system by its own lack of purpose. But the alarming plight of the Unashamed was most clearly indicated by Schelberg's motion that Bernard Shaw's Black Girl in Search of God be discussed at the next meeting. Faced at last by this staggering alternative, the Unashamed showed their true mettle, demonstrating that the modern mind is really breaking the shackles of tradition and convention. By a large majority, they rejected Schelberg's motion and thus broke the Shavian tyranny amid loud cheers. It was finally agreed that The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann should be discussed at the March meeting. The next item of business was the reading of a play by Somerset Maugham, The Circle. The society attacked this task with the same grim determination which has marked their dealings with other plays. Edmonds read a paper which was marked by a modesty rarely seen in the Unashamed. He said he did not know whether it was a good play or a bad play. But he also showed heretical tendencies which are deeply to be deplored when he said that it didn't matter whether it was good or bad. It satisfied what was to his mind the only test of importance in that it went extraordinarily well on the stage. He pointed out the predicament of the playwright, who must convey his entire meaning by the spoken word or gesture of an actor who may or may not understand what he means, and who cannot rely, like the novelist, on lengthy digressions to create atmosphere. He then drew attention to a number of passages which showed how admirably Maugham could crowd a world of meaning into a word or a phrase. This, said Edmonds, was art, and that was all he cared about. The Unashamed were only moderately impressed by the point of view of the actor and director. They hurried on to their favorite topic of the merits of the play as a play. Lothian got out his literary calipers and dramatic slide rule, and after a period of careful measurement, shook his head with an air of professional disappointment. the president showed his usual preoccupation with moral issues and scoured every phrase in the play to discover the lesson it had. He was finally borne down by the majority, who believed that the play showed that there were no moral lessons except those learned by experience, and that everyone must make their own mistakes. But still, the Philistines murmured, saying that the lesson of the play was this: that the mere fact that members owned copies of the book in which a play was printed was not a sufficient justification for reading it.